Hey guys, this time I'm taking you with me to Shanghai. We are so excited for this weekend. So, after an almost 6 hour flight from Singapore, touchdown in the cold. They collect fingerprints upon arrival and many other biometrics. And after downloading VPNs and all the apps you need in Shanghai, we finally managed to book a cab to our hostel. So, you're surprisingly energetic only after 6 hours of sleep. I think we were just super excited to be here. You can tell by the huge smile on our faces. First stop, coffee at Arabica to kick off the day before we roamed around the Xintiandi area to find authentic Chinese food for our first meal. We settled on a random restaurant serving dumplings, noodles, and all of this that screamed comfort, which is great for the cold Shanghai winter. I got Xialongbao, a must try in Shanghai. They are basically dumplings with broth and pork meat fillings. I don't want to spoil it, but this was the best thing that I ate in Shanghai. It was fragrant with lots of flavors and just absolutely delicious. After lunch, we continued admiring the city while heading to the Bund, an emblem of Shanghai. As you can see, there are cameras everywhere. It was kind of strange to think that you're being watched, but you basically are a lot more safe. So here we are at the famous Bund, which basically separates the old and new Shanghai. Then we headed towards Yuyuan Garden, which was one of my top 2 favorite spots in Shanghai. Yes, keep watching for the number 1. So Yuyuan is in the center of the old town, and the garden was built back in 1559 by the son of a high-ranked official during the Ming dynasty. It felt as though we were walking through a maze where each turn basically led to more surprises and beautiful details of this place. Once you exit the garden, you immediately step into the Yuyuan market with shops, food, and lots of things to see. Honestly, all we did here was eat, discover Chinese cookies and sweets, and eat. Also, I don't know if you guys knew this, but White Rabbit, the sweet, is actually also available in different flavors. We also tried this particular biscuit or sweet, I'm not quite sure, but it looked rather intriguing. I never knew what it was, but I did like the taste of it, even though the texture was kind of weird. It was quite powdery and tasted like peanuts, so if you took too much in one go, you'd probably have problems coughing. We came across a stall selling all things fried and scallion pancakes, so I obviously had to try that as well. Honestly, at this point, I don't even know how I still have space to eat, but it keeps going on. As night fell, we returned to the Bund to check out the night scenery. Now, mind you, it was at least 2 degrees, and coming from Singapore, we were not at all prepared for the cold, so this is us dancing, trying to warm up. I don't know about you guys, but I preferred this night scene at the Bund a lot more than the daytime. It was vibrant, lit up, and super colorful. So after lots of eating, it was time to eat yet again. This time, we headed to a mall to warm up as well, but also to try the must-try crab meat noodles in Shanghai. It did look very, very good, but I don't know if it was just me or if it was like this dish in particular, but I didn't quite enjoy it. I found it to be rather overwhelming. Everything in Shanghai is so big and lit up, it feels as though the city literally never sleeps. It's the end of day 1 and now it's time for day 2. Also look at the blue sky, we are blessed. We're going to be commuting by the underground to our first destination of the day. Guys, the Shanghai metro system is insane, so safe, so hassle-free. They check your bags like you're at the airport and then you just have to scan your QR code on Alipay to get through. Honestly, it's super easy once you get a hang of the applications. The stations are also super clean and spacious. It's a breather compared to Paris. So, this morning we're headed to the famous fake market on the other side of the Bund. Guys, this activity was honestly a huge culture shock. It was crazy the amount and types of counterfeit items that were being sold. Literally, no one is safe. We saw branded items, clothes, cosmetics, bags, and even Stanley cups. I ended up buying chopsticks as a souvenir for myself. Honestly, don't know what a fake or a real chopstick is, but oh well. To be honest, it was a very interesting morning and we got to practice our negotiation skills as well. I also found it super funny how the fake market was the place where I met locals who spoke the best level of English. For lunch, we had ramen in the area, another comforting meal to fight the cold winter. Also, I think we spent like almost 3 hours at the ramen shop because it was just super cold outside. Then we headed to Nanjing Road for a quick walk, but the sun, as you can see, was already setting pretty quickly. There's so many malls in Shanghai. Honestly, it's hard to keep track, though every district had like a specific vibe to it. Day 2 just keeps getting more and more random as we try hard to fight the cold and the fatigue. So first we stopped by 7-Eleven to see what it's like in Shanghai and see what sort of like local treats were available. And I got these sweets that were crunchier than expected, so wasn't the biggest fan. I sort of expected it to taste milky and soft like a nougat, but wasn't really the case. And then after we decided to head to Anfu Road for a change of scenery. Now my friends who lived in Shanghai described it to me as this young, trendy, hip, aesthetic area where the influencers or the younger generation usually hangs out. Now I know I keep showing you guys food and us eating, but honestly that's pretty much what we did. Our weekend in Shanghai is almost done. We have been having so much of fun and we wanted to go out and about in the city one last time before we head to the airport. The area that we live in has also been great. It's bustling, it's lively, all things fun. So our last stop is the Jing'an Temple on West Nanjing Road. Honestly, we have been so blessed with clear blue skies here the entire weekend. Here's a sneak peek of the temple, and right across the street we came across a group of dancers in traditional clothes. Now there's something about people dancing in the streets with no worry in the world that just warms my heart. I don't know, it's one of those simple pleasures and joys in life that spreads good vibes to people all around. And voila, here we are at the iconic Jing'an Temple, a Buddhist temple and one of the oldest ones in Shanghai. It was first built in 247 AD during the Three Kingdoms period and then relocated in 1216. It was then turned into a plastic factory for a long while before the temple was then restored in 1983. The architecture, now let's talk about that, is a beautiful mix of Chinese and Tibetan influence. Now this main hall, the Mahavira Hall, is the largest wooden building in Shanghai and Buddha looks indeed very at peace. Now this temple really captured my heart. It was peaceful despite the crowd present, and something about this historical iconic building in the middle of the city surrounded by modern buildings, I don't know, it just felt really magical. Last but not least, we stopped over at a Shanghai snacks stall before booking a cab and going to the airport. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog and see you in my next video. Ciao!